Well, hey, what do you know? We had a nice green day today. Hey, fellow traders, it's Black Coffee Trader. It is Thursday, July the 31st, doing my daily recap on the day. And as you can see, had a nice little green day today, up $150 per account. 3 new PAs today, 2 new Tradeify accounts, and a new, Apex funded account. So nice first day on those accounts. And again, not trying to be greedy today, just trying to have a nice solid green day. And we did that. 2 trades today. Looking at TradeZella, I think we'll go there first. 914, two winning trades, 100% win rate, and that turns our month to green. So we ended up with a slightly green month, up $600 on the account. So obviously today I had 6 accounts. For the last several days I've only had 3. So if I divide this in half, basically I had about a $450 some green day on the 3 accounts that we were red on yesterday. So we made up our red day from yesterday and stayed green on the week. And yeah, I had a pretty good run here the last couple of weeks, so that's good. Trying to shake this red week we had here in the middle of the month, so very good there. I'll just jump into let's look at the stats for the month, kind of see where we ended up this month. 620, 57% win rate, which is about right, about my average. Wish this was a little bit better. Negative on the average win to loss. Day win rate was 68%, so about 70% of the days were winning days. The unfortunate thing is just I had one bigger red day, 691. I think that was a 2 account trading day. Obviously I'd lost a bunch of accounts early, I think at the end of the month, end of June. And so we were trading with 1 and 2 accounts for a while, and then we finally gotten ourselves back up to 6. So overall pretty solid month. I feel pretty good about where the trading is at. I just need to keep this thing going and keep taking good trades. So yeah, that is that. The other thing worth noting is the importance of accepting a red day like yesterday. Yesterday was down 150 per account, basically, and we kept the week green. So we didn't go into a big loss, bigger than our win was on Monday. And then today we made that, duplicated that exact amount. So we're up 150 plus per account on the week. And that's one of the things I really want to work on, is not to allow myself to have a big red day. I mean, I'm sure it'll happen. It's not like we're never going to have a bigger red day, but it's the thing to try to avoid that from happening, or keep it from happening very frequently. So the trades today, the first one was this one here on the NASDAQ. This morning we had this pull down, and if you look at let's go out and look at the bigger picture time frame here, the 30-minute chart. This is, off of my morning trade plan. So obviously today I was looking for pullback longs. That was kind of the mindset. Ended up not being very much of a pullback long morning session, because we basically gave back all of this move we had yesterday from FOMC and the earnings in the after hours, and the after hours move here last night. So we gave all that back and had a really healthy pullback right back to this level. Great pullback. Honestly, that would be a really nice long if one was long at right now. But in any case, this is very healthy. Even though this was a big red day on the market as far as the market trend, this is actually a very healthy pullback, and it allows us to create some levels, possibly make some adjustments here. Looks like I'm just quickly looking at this. There's some reactions coming in right here on the 23,600s that might be worth looking into. Also had some reactions right here around this high coming in from, what is that, last Friday, I believe, the Friday high. There's some reactions going on there. So again, these types of move allows us to really refine some of these levels, and also give us a lot more credibility when we get another move to the upside, or if we continue on the downside trend. So I am quite okay with today's pullback, so getting to the trade. This morning we had this pullback and wicked through this level, pushed higher. We were also pushing higher on the ES. Took this long, looking for this move to continue. I was just in with 3 contracts, got out with 2, 75 bucks in profit, and then got stopped out on my last contract here for I think around a $23 winning trade on that. So again, scaling out, trying to get out with about 1 hour, and then allowing my last contract, or however many I have, to just sit, not moving my stop and just allowing the trade to work. And it just works. I mean, sometimes, yeah, you have a loss and a couple wins, but as a result, that's a net winning trade. Even if it was break even, these trades pay for this pays for the loss basically. So that was that. And then, yeah, what a nice bounce. What a beautiful bounce pushing off of here. The second trade I had was on the Russell, and this was also something I was looking at this morning. If you watch my morning trade plans, I was looking at saying, hey, we've had a high, break, retest, break, retest, break, looks like a retest, and I said, if we retest this, that could set up a nice short. That is precisely what happened. I think it was at this level. Yeah, it was at this level. That's exactly the trade we took right here. So saw this thing start to reject, got in here, had to be patient, had to sit in this trade for a while. This was about a 40-minute trade. A lot of wiki action here, just kept sitting in it, and just kind of scaled my way off. And my real goal with this trade was just to get out and make sure I'm above the 150, because on, I think it's this top account, I need to have 5 $150 or greater profit days, and today was day 4. So that was good. I think today was day 4. I guess I'm not sure. I'll have to check the dashboard. But in any case, so that was really what I was after. And we kind of chopped around, and then we moved back to the upside. So I had a really nice trade there. Very happy with that. In fact, I'm kind of curious. That might have been it was probably a little bit over a 1R as at the end of the day. So. But anyway, good day. I'm really happy to end July on a green note. Also had a good day on evals this morning. I went short prior to the open. I'm trying to remember where that was. I went short probably around 7. I think somewhere in here is where I went short, around 7:15 this morning. Thinking that we would probably get a move back down. Yeah, I shorted somewhere in here, thinking we'd get a move down into this level at the least, and I decided to just go short with all my eval counts. And I did that, and obviously I had to sit through a little drawdown, and then we got the flush, and I got out of those trades somewhere right here. I was actually short the NASDAQ, and I was also short on ES on the same exact trade, so to speak. Shorting right around this area here, held through this little pullback, and then got that flush. So ended up with a really nice trade this morning. So on most of the 50K accounts, up 400, on the 150s up 600. So the Alpine account, for those of you that are following along there, we're at 3,200 in profit. So we're a little bit over a third of the way towards passing that account. That's good. These evals here, $1,000, 1,400 on several of those. This little section of 150Ks, we're up about $2,000 on those. So yeah, had a pretty decent day. The only downside is this Tradeify account, I was up 440 or 435 or something with that morning trade, and then I decided to try to go for some more and try to pass that account, or at least get it closer. Why I wasn't satisfied and walking away with basically 2 trades this morning, one on ES and one on the NASDAQ, is beyond me, but greed gets into our heads sometimes. And I shorted this little rejection area, and we got this stupid push higher, took me out. And then I went long somewhere right in here and got a couple contracts off, got stopped out again. And just like that, I went from being up 400 to being down. I was actually down 400. I lost 800 in this area because I was only trading micros. This morning's trade also was only micros, but I was in with a lot of size. And so I went from being, up 400 to being down 400. And then we broke this level. I decided I am going to short this, because if we cannot continue to push to new highs and we're bumping right off of this previous low from the early morning session, I said, I've got to try this short. And I got this flush almost all the way down. So brought the account from positive 400 to negative 400 to up $60. So, and I said, I'm done. I'm going to walk away and call it a good day. So anyway, pretty happy with that. Hopefully we can keep these going and pass some more accounts, and then build up our funded accounts. So there you have it. That's the long and the short of today. I do not want to forget to make sure that you're aware of the very short Take Profit special. Take Profit has that 40% off, and they had a 40% off no activation fee. They have now made this a little bit better. You have 40% off, and you do have an activation fee. However, when you get your first payout, they will refund that activation fee. So if you pass an eval on the first try and you get to a payout, you get a free account. Basically have a free account. It's a very, very good deal. It's one of the best ones that I've ever seen Take Profit Trader do. And that deal is only running, they said, a week. It started today. So my assumption is that deal is over at the end of it'll be next Thursday. I think it's August 7th. Actually, that's going to come up on the banner here in just a minute right here below. So you can see that. But there we go. 40% off and activation fees refunded at first payout. Sale ends 8/7. So take advantage of that if you are trading with Take Profit. And again, as always, I just want to say thank you for those of you that use code BCT with Apex, Take Profit Trader, or TradeZella. I appreciate that. It does help me out a little bit, and I certainly do appreciate that. So thanks again for following along. Appreciate you guys. Feels good to have a nice green day, especially on some of these new accounts. And we just keep slowly putting together green days after green day. That's what it's all about. So tomorrow morning, we do have some news. Hopefully we can end the week on a positive note tomorrow on a Friday and the start of the month of August. So, all right, I'll leave you with that. We'll see where this thing goes. Have a good night. Take care, and so long.